There's another part right there. Hard right there. I suppose.
Did you get it? There were 3 nurses there in the respiratory security. She finally came to where you need to get in a wheelchair. Somebody called me.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Medicine Wheel Park. It's located at the intersection of community and university. That's because both of those entities had so much to do with building this place. My students followed me up here in 1992 to initiate this project. And I would say 1,000 students have worked on here, but and I want to name each one of them. Jim Smith, Matt Nielsen. No. But this has become quite an attraction. I work up here a lot on the garden. You might take a look a little bit later, but lots of people come through here and see this place. But we're honored tonight to experience sunset on the first day of fall.
There's someone in the crowd.
Remember, the medicine wheel is a calendar. And it's like a calendar that they built all over that the ancient people built all over the world. And the idea was to build something on the landscape and connect it to the sky and the sun. And when you have that connection, then you can make a calendar. Think about the influence the calendar had on those early peoples that built this. It was a way of adding regularity to their lives so that they could branch out and do lots of other things. They were more organized. They could have art and music and dancing and singing. We're certainly, but this particular landscape, the medicine wheel, is the type that the Native Americans built mainly to the west and to the north of here into Canada. And many of them have solstice alignments, and it is therefore quite a blessing that we have Native American singers and dancers, the Buffalo River Native American singers and dancers. Here tonight, for the third time, to lay yet another blessing on this monument to the Native Americans.
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? I want to say thank you for each one of you to be here today. This time just to say our farewells to the summer season and as we go into the fall. This is the time of the year where our crops have been harvested. Starting to hunt different big games that we didn't hunt through the summer months. Time of feast. Time to be grateful for the things that we have. Time for us to pay respects to the different spirits that are part of the different seasons that we have. With that, we have songs, we have dances. The dances tell stories. The songs talks about victories, talks about people's lives. So we are very grateful for this chance to be here today, and thankful for the different ones who brought us here, asked us to come back. I want to say thank you to Wes and Joe, the different ones who put things together for us. We're going to start things off with our grand entry. We borrowed the idea from rodeos to showcase the different dancers, the different dance styles, the different outfits, the different regalias, give you a chance to see our different styles that we have. If some of you are kind of far back, you can scoot around. There's plenty of room on the edges here if you want to get a little closer to see us. But to start things off, we have the grand entry. If you can rise, please stand. Joe. You may be seated. Little bit of breathing hard here. Yeah, like he said, it's the mountain air. Probably the highest point in Valley City, huh? I'm feeling it. No, I'm just kidding. Kind of coming out here, not prepared to dance just right yet, but we will be. And we're all ready to go. First set of dancers we're going to bring out is Dr. Erik Gooding and my son Anthony. This style of dance we call the grass dance. This style of dance comes to us from the Omaha people in the Nebraska area. Long time ago, when the different tribes would go out to set up a new camp, to pick out an area. Didn't have the luxuries of a lawnmower or a weed eater or anything like that to cut the grass. We had grass dancers, and they would go out and they would smash that grass down. What they did with one foot, they would do with the other. And you can imagine that if you was just to go out there and stomp grass, you get pretty tired of it pretty fast. But they came up with songs that helped them with the work, that helped them with the flow, songs that has meaning about these grass, because this grass provides nourishment to many of our different animals. And they would use those dances to get prepared for the new campsites. This is what we call the men's grass. The one with the gray beard, that's Dr. Erik Gooding. He comes to us from Iowa. And the other young man is my son Anthony, 8 years old, and he's been dancing since he was the age of 2. The next dancer we're going to bring out is my wife Delores, and she's got a story to tell.
Hi everybody, how are you tonight? Good. I'm glad to see you all here. First of all, I just wanted to introduce the style of dance that I'm going to be doing, and it's called the Women's Fancy Shawl. So it used to be during the time when the trains would travel across North Dakota, like like on Harry Potter, those kind of trains. So they would stop at the train stations, and the women in that community, they would go down to the train station and they would perform for the people that were stopping by. And so, they would put a hat down, and times were tough during that time, and the women were being innovative and trying to provide for their families. And so they would go to those train stations and they would perform their dances. Well, the dances were really traditional prior to that, very basic. The women realized that if they added in some more steps and a little bit more jazz, that people would put a little bit more money in the hat. And so that's kind of where this dance originated from. There's several different stories from different regions, but that's one of my favorite stories, you know, just because of how it connects back to how the women were trying to provide for their families. And this is the fancy shawl.
That was my wife, Delores. She comes to us from Sioux Valley, Manitoba. She's Dakota. This drum you see here looks like it's the bass drum that you see with a band. Maybe some drummer sitting behind it or something with this 5, 6 different drums and the little clingy thingies, the thing you got there. And actually this drum, that's what it is. It's a bass drum. But this drum came to us back in the Indian Wars, across the prairies, across the plains. We was able to take this style of drum in battle. And we took that drum and took care of it and made it part of our ceremonies, made it part of our dances. It's a very useful type of drum. This one's been changed a little bit. The hides that you see on it are elk hide. But it's useful so that you can tighten it with the different weather. If it's kind of wet, the drums get flat. But with this type of drum, you're able to keep it tight. And these songs that we sing, some of them are just a little bit, just a few years old, made just recently. And then some of the songs that you'll hear are maybe 100 years old, passed on through generations. And we're grateful to have Ray and Tim here to help us sing. And Joe's our mic man. We're getting close to sunset here, but we're going to bring out one more dancer, my daughter Alexa. And she's got a story to tell.
Hi. The style of dance that I dance is called the jingle dress dance. And this style of dance is very important to the Native American people because it's also known as the healing dress. And there's a story that goes along with it, with how the dress got its name. So there was a little girl, and she was really sick, and nobody really knew how to cure her. They had, you know, not really the same kind of medicine that we had. And so one day, her grandfather, in a dream, these spirits came to him and they told him to go to the women of his camp and have them make a dress that looks kind of like the one that I'm wearing. And that if they wear this dress and they perform this ceremony for this little girl, then she'll be cured. And so the women of his tribe made this dress and they put it on and they danced around the circle. And slowly but surely that little girl started to feel better. And so now this dress is known as the healing dress, and sometimes we'll use it, you know, as a ceremony dress in case people are sick or just to feel better. And so when you're dancing this style, you need to have good thoughts. You need to pray for everyone when you're dancing. So this is the jingle dress dance.
Okay, we're going to take a few minutes here as we're kind of coming up on sunset here. We were asked to sing a memorial song. Just over here to our left are some burial mounds of some of our relatives from a long time ago that made their homes here, that made this place, which you see here today, brought the holiness about this area. And you know what it's like to miss a loved one. But then we're talking about people who lived hundreds of years ago and they're still being remembered today. Very grateful that we have people like Joe here that wants to carry these things on. He's the one that requested this. Or Wes, I'm sorry, both of them talked about it. And we're going to sing a little song here as we bring about the sunset. If you can, please stand again.
I got you. Use me. There you go.
and it's time to sing sing that memorial song. That song talks about, my friend, where have you gone? We remember you here and we're crying for you. And grateful for have this chance to be able to sing for those relatives that have gone on. We're almost done here with our performance. Got my son, Timothy, to come out to dance, then myself, and then we're going to invite everybody to come dance with us with the social dance, with a round dance, our friendship dance that we like to end our shows with. My son Timothy here, he's 12 years old, he's a 7th grader in Moorhead. 3 push-ups. Timothy has been dancing since before he was 2 years old. As soon as he could walk, he was dancing. He's always loved to dance. This style of dance we call the fancy feather. It's the most lively, most vibrant flash of colors you're going to see among the men dancers. You saw my wife Delores with the flashy style of the fancy shawl, the butterfly dance. This style of dance, this fancy feather dance, comes to us from the old Wild West shows. When they started off dancing in the Wild West shows, they had bustles on, similar to what I have on. Small, but simple. And as things progressed in time, fancy dancers came about. And during the Wild West shows, different dancers would be involved. And one time after one of the shows, a couple of the guys got into an argument. One guy sitting at the table, I think I'm the best dancer here. The guy across the table, I don't think so. And pretty soon there was a couple more involved, and pretty soon they had a little argument of different ones. So in the 1920s, at Haskell Indian Nations University, back then it was still a boarding school, they had the very first competition dance. They had dancers from across the United States and Canada participate. And after 2 days of dancing, there was one man left over. His name was Gus McDonald. He's a Ponca from White Eagle, Oklahoma. He was the very first world champion fancy dancer. This is my son Timothy showing you his style. The next style of dance I'm going to bring to you is called the men's prairie chicken. That's the style of dance I do. This dance comes to us from the Blackfeet people and from the Cree people. Both different tribes have incorporated the chicken dance as part of their ceremonies, as part of their livelihood. Among the Blackfeet people, there's a story. There was a man who went hunting for 4 days, not having any luck with trying to get anything to take home to his family. They were hungry, hadn't eaten. So on that 4th day, he heard some singing, he heard some dancing. So he crawled up to the top of the hill. And as he looked over that hill, he saw prairie chickens dancing. And he watched them for a while, and then finally he took his arrows and he shot those chickens. He took them home, they prepared them, and everybody ate really good that night. Felt really good. You know what it's like to go to sleep on a full belly? You feel really good. Sometimes you have good dreams. But on this night, those prairie chickens came to the man and started talking to him. They asked him, "Why did you take our life?" And the man was startled. He goes, "Oh my goodness, prairie chickens are talking to me." And that man, he goes, "I had to feed my family. We were hungry. We were starving." And that prairie chicken, "I understand that, what it's like to have to take care of your family, try to do the best you can for them. We gave you something today. We helped you. We helped your family. We ask you to do something for us in return." And that man wasn't sure what to think. "But what can I do? What do you want from me?" And those prairie chickens told him, "You learn this dance. You learn these songs that go with it. You share it with your family. You share it with your relatives. You share it with the tribes around you. And today, no matter where you go across North America, in the United States or Canada, you're going to see the men's prairie chicken."
life. So for our last song, we want to do a dance that celebrates all of you because we can't do this without you guys. So we need to have everybody come up to the front, and then we're going to make a circle, and then we're going to do what we call the round dance or the friendship dance. And this can only work if you guys help us out. We can't do this by ourselves. So come on up, and if you guys don't volunteer, then we might just have to come and pick you out from the crowd. So it's easier to just volunteer. Might as well get up here, get rid of all those mosquitoes, you know? Can't bite you if you're dancing. Have a good time.
Come on in here.
Yeah, right?
Everybody come on in.
2 hands. There you go. 2 hands are better than 1.
It's super simple. It's just a side step to the left. Super simple.
Yep, spread out. We need a big circle. Big circle. Gonna join hands. You can come on this side. We need to fill up the circle all the way around. We need to make a circle. We always shoot for 100% participation, so if you're standing around back there, get light. It's real easy, like my daughter said. Left, right, left, right. This is to have fun. Like we said, this is our friendship dance, so it's not to do anything to embarrass anybody. Just
Take it around the wheel.
all right, here we go. Round dance time. right, that was awesome. Golly, that's a lot of people out there. Good job, everybody. Thank you very much. If you want any photos with us, we'll be up here a little while, but before we're done, we need to turn the microphone back over to Joe, and we'll finish things up.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's how we say thank you to the Buffalo River Native American singers and dancers. Please repeat after me. I feel connected to the universe. Again, I feel connected to the universe. I feel connected to the universe. Thank you very much. I'm quitting my day job and going on the road with this group. And lucky for Photoshop, you'll be able to Photoshop me right out of all those pictures.